Okay, so let's start something just a little bit different. This is going to be the side angle side area formula. So we know how to find the area of a triangle, right? We do base times height and we divide it by 2. We actually know another way to find the area of a triangle, but only if it's an equilateral triangle. So what is that? The area of my triangle is 1/2 AP. And we actually know another way of finding the area of the triangle. What formula do we use for that? Heron's formula. So we're going to learn yet one more way of finding the area of a triangle. And we can do it using trig. And the way it works is if we know an angle and the two sides that form that angle, then we can find the area of the triangle. And the area is equal to 1/2 the product of the two sides times the sine of the included angle. You need to memorize this formula. And furthermore, you need to give it some importance in your memory because there are several questions on the test that you need to use this formula to answer, and many students somehow it's so simple and straightforward that it slips through their grasp and they get some easy questions wrong. So don't be one of those students. All right, so here's how the formula works. If I have this triangle right here, and then I can find the area of it by doing 1/2 times 44 times 42 times the sine of 32. And I just plug all of that into my calculator, and I get 490, and that would be millimeters squared. All right, you find for me the area of this right triangle using the side angle side area formula. They told us it's a right triangle, so I think we can safely say that that's a right angle. So please go ahead and set it up and solve it right now. Come back when you have an answer. Hit pause now. All right, so this should be the form that you wrote it in, and you should have gotten 35 units squared. Interesting. Okay, and we just talked about the other formulas that we've used. What do I need to use my other formulas? Well, I need a base and a height, or I need all three sides. So in this case, I would use the side angle side area formula if I had an angle and two of the sides, but I didn't know the third side, or it was too difficult to find the base and the height. All right, moving over to this triangle over here, what do you notice about the sine of the included angle in this triangle? What's the sine of 90? Well, it's 1, right? Which makes sense because if I had done this using my base times height divided by 2 formula, I would have taken my base times my height and divided it by 2, and I would also have gotten 35, which is essentially what happens when sine of 90 goes away. Because it becomes 1, we get base times height divided by 2. In the notes check, I want you to answer the question for me, why is the sine of 90 equal to 1? So be thinking about that and answer it in the notes check. All right, one more word problem, and then you are free to go. So we have a scalene triangle with sides of 12, 8, and 9. So 12, 8, and 9. And we need to find the largest angle if the area of that triangle is approximately 35.5 square units. Well, what angle is going to be the largest angle? It's going to be the one opposite the 12. So this angle right here, let's go ahead and call that angle X. All right, so if that's the case, then we know that these two sides are the sides that make up angle X. And we can go ahead and use our side angle side area formula to solve this. The area, 35.5, is equal to 1/2 the product of the two sides times the sine of the angle. All right, now you need to be very careful how you solve this. You need to go ahead and multiply these all together. So 1/2 times 8 is 4 times 9 is 36. So 36 sine x. And then we go ahead and divide both sides by 36. These cancel each other out, leaving me with sine x equals this ratio. I'm looking for an angle, so what am I going to do? I'm going to use the inverse. So x equals the inverse sine of 35.5 divided by 36. Go ahead and solve that in your calculator and come back when you have an answer. Hit pause now. So you should have gotten that x equals approximately 80 degrees. Is that what you got? Excellent. Okay, this concludes today's notes. Please go on and do the notes check. And be sure to ask in class if you have any questions. Thanks.